Welcome to the art project. This is part 2 of the shape project. Alright, I am now going to turn my attention to my sketchbook for a little bit, and I'm going to come up with a design for the painting on organic and geometric shapes. In order to do this, I'm going to use this over here for a little bit of practice. Over here I'm going to set up my design. My design is basically going to be just like the border that I demonstrated for this project, where it's going to have two rectangles in the middle. So this is going to be my organic side, and this is going to be my geometric side. Before I do this though, over here I want to do some practice shapes, starting out for my organic project. And you know, organic shapes are, well, a little bit weird. I'm just going to kind of doodle a little bit until I come up with something. I'm going to try different kinds of organic shapes until I come up with one that I really like. Seaweed has a interesting shape to it. I don't know that this is really what seaweed looks like, but it's kind of what I think of when I think of seaweed. You may have to rework some of your shapes from time to time to get them to come out the way you want them. The right side of my leafy structure here doesn't quite look like the right side, but that's okay. So don't forget that as you're doing this, you'll want to create some windows. This one I probably could put one in down here. And this one's got plenty of space for a window. And there's no rule on the windows. You know, you can make them a different shape than the shape that they're in. You can also make them curve with the other shapes you already have. That might help to come up with some interesting shape. And once you have some shapes that you like, you want to put them into your painting. Now you want to be careful about just touching the edge. Either go off the side or don't, but don't touch the border. It creates a sense of tension that you probably don't want in your picture. Create a little hole right here. I've overlapped, but I can erase certain parts to make it look like it's going through. And so what I'm going to do here is erase a little bit of the gourd up here and here. So now it looks like this shape is in front of this shape. And then down here I'm going to erase a little bit more. Again, it looks like it's in front. My seaweed is now in front of the gourd that I drew. But I want it to look like it went through this hole right here. So I'm going to erase the seaweed in front of the gourd this time. Alright, and then anything outside the border I want to erase. Continue to do that. And I'm going to go off the page down here and make my little seaweed shape. I've got these repeating. I probably need another one of those somewhere in my picture. Tendency is to want to hurry up and get done with this so I can go to the big piece of paper and do my painting. But I worked hard on this border, and this kind of paper is more expensive. So I don't want to mess this up. So I need to spend as much time here as possible. I don't want to spend too much time because I got a deadline. So right here, I'm finishing up the drawing for the organic design side, and now I'm going to create some geometric shapes. I created about 8 or 9 different geometric shapes, trying to come up with something unique and different. And I got to this point right here where I realized that I could use this one shape with holes in it and draw these lines through it, and it would be perfectly geometric, but also have a lot of overlapping and piercing and so on. So there's not one particular shape, but a bunch of stripes. Now I'm going to do a border for you. For this project, you're going to need pencil, ruler, and an eraser for the border of this picture that we're doing. And the border needs to look something like this. It's going to be made up of two vertical rectangles, one for organic and one for geometric shapes. It's an inch from the side, an inch from the bottoms, and an inch in the middle, all the way up and down. And so I'm going to take you through this step by step. Basically, I'm going to start somewhere close to the top. It doesn't matter where at the top, it could be anywhere as long as the end of the ruler, the 0, is on the edge of the paper. As I said before, I'm going to put a mark on the 1, 8.5, 9.5, and 17. I'm going to roll my ruler down here to the bottom. It doesn't matter where at the bottom as long as the 0 is on this edge. What I'm doing is I'm setting up a mark right here at 1 inch, another mark at 8.5 inch, 9.5, and 17. What I'm doing is I'm setting up a mark down here and up here that I can connect. So this mark and this mark are exactly 1 inch away from the side of the paper. So when I put my ruler on it, the edge of my ruler here will be exactly 1 inch away from the side of the paper. And if I hold my ruler down tight on that mark and draw a line, I will have a border 1 inch away. Do the same thing on the 8.5 inch marks. Same thing on the 9.5 inch marks. And the same thing on the 17 inch marks. That gives me 3 borders, one on this side, one in the middle, one on that side. Now I need my top and bottom. I'm going to put my ruler somewhere on this side of the paper. Doesn't really matter where, as long as the 0 is on the edge. Because then I want to put a mark on the 1 and the 23. The paper is 24 inches long, so if I put a mark on the 23, that's 1 inch away from the end. Put a mark on the 1 inch, that's 1 inch away from that end. I'm going to come down here to this end. Does not matter where, as long as I'm on, my 0 is on the edge. I'm going to put a mark on the 1 and again on the 23. I'm then going to put my yardstick on those 2 marks, and I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to save myself some time by just drawing from that line to this line and this line to that line. How does that save me time? I won't have to erase the middle part in just a minute. I'm going to put my yardstick on the 23 inch marks that I made, both this one and this one. Hold my ruler tight and put a line that goes from that line to this line and that line to this line. I'm then going to erase and now I have a rectangle here and a rectangle here, one for organic, one for geometric. And now I'm going to transfer my pictures that I came up with in my sketchbook to the large piece of drawing paper. First I drew everything out on the organic side, and then I started working on the geometric side. After I got everything drawn in pencil, I made sure that I knew where what was going to be going over and under and piercing. And after I got all that fixed and ready to go, I went over all the lines with a Sharpie marker. In part 3, we'll start painting it in. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please give me a thumbs up and comment down below.